Hey guys, it's Joe. Join us at 10:30.
Just give it a couple minutes for people to join. Okay, we're ready. We're live.
Good morning, guys. Saturday, 10:30, last weekend of the year. Incredible year. Incredible year, right? Think about it. Look at the movements. Look at what's going on in December as compared to the other 11 months that we brought up. December tells you a lot, how the year's going to end. But more important, it gives you good info to what to expect in January. And so far, everything we've been looking for is setting up nicely. The highlight of this week and the highlight of the last, same month has been precious metals. The one we've been talking about the most since the beginning of the year is silver. Silver has all of a sudden become the buzzword of the planet. And we're going to explain why. What you got to pay attention to at this point is all of a sudden everyone thinks they're a silver expert. Okay? They're trying to do piecework. I've been doing this since the 80s. And from what I'm listening to, people look, there's a lot of factors of what's going on in silver. And people knowing one factor or understanding another factor think they're experts. I'm going to be straight up with you. They are missing the other parts. So they're not going to understand how other parts are going to affect the ones that they know. I'm listening to what they say. There's 10 different ways to look at silver, 10 things that are influencing silver. They're talking about one, they're pretty accurate. They talk about another one, pretty accurate. They talk about another one. They're missing the other 3 or 4 that I know because I've been through this. They don't understand how 2 or 3 of them influence another 3 or 4. So watch yourself. If silver is on your radar screen and you want to figure out how to make money, you can try to trade silver. You can try to be bullish silver, but you know what's going to be very hard? How to make money in silver. We know how to make money in silver. Okay, we're doing this forever. You know how I learned how to make money in silver? I learned how to lose money in silver. So by learning how to lose money, recognizing the traps, seeing what's going on, that's the edge we got. We got a big edge. In the next few days, which I think are going to be the wildest you've ever seen, Friday was historic. Okay, since the inception of silver trading, Friday was the wildest day in the history of silver. Imagine that the day after Christmas. Okay, I actually think we're going to be saying that next week again. This day was the wildest day you've ever seen in silver. Okay, I've been through them. I've been through silver moving 40% in one day. 40%. A commodity moving 40%. I've been through that. I was sitting on a desk when it happened. Okay, so I've seen these before. What it's doing now, it's influencing the other metals. What's the other metal we're talking about? Platinum. Now platinum is making historic highs, and we think that one has got a lot of room. But the same thing. It's easy to be bullish. It's going to be hard to make money. The one that's been leading the way all year now has become the stronghold, gold. Gold has been in the back burner making new all-time highs at 4,500. Okay, metals are the flavor, and they're going to be the flavor this week, and they're going to be the flavor of next month, along with other things moving. You're going to have huge allocations. It's a new year. People get a fresh bankroll. People that manage money, hedge funds, or portfolio managers. They get, okay, I got my money. Where am I going to put it to work? Most of them put it to the same successful trades, but they also got to find other trades. That's what we think we can smell out. That's what we've been doing it. If you look at our Januaries over the last, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, some of our best months we've ever had of the year have been January, because I've seen this before, and I recognize when to use information and when to trade. So we think that, and we also think the same thing that we thought last January. The cheapest things on this planet are commodities, and we think they're still going to be cheap. And what's putting everybody to sleep? The oil market. The oil market, we said from day one, if you go back and look, from last year. We said oil is going to be in a range, okay? And we think it's still in the range. We think it's the bottom end of the range. If you remember, we've been saying this for all year. Oil's in a range, metals are on a mission. Well, you tell me. This is the silver market. Is that on a mission? That's incredible to watch. It's incredible to watch. Parabolic. And I still think there's more parabolic coming. Platinum, quiet as could be in the last 2 to 3 weeks, going parabolic. Gold is what everybody talked about. That's the quiet one. This one here actually can take a little breather. Meanwhile, it's an all-time high. What's in a range? Oil. Where's oil? In a range. Sorry. Oil's in the same range. Put it back up here. 55, 65, 55, 65. Same range. Other ones we're looking at. Natural gas. Okay, that's been a wild one. Below $2 at one point this year, above $5 at a different point. This is natural gas. We think that's ready to find a home. Well, you've also had this wild move over the last 2 weeks. We understood this, we explained it why. We understood this, we explained it why. People, while they're trying to figure it out, they're getting caught. So you get the same thing going on in some of these energies. Natural gas, we think, is a big, big sleeper here going forward because people, this is not healthy for the market. This is not healthy for the market, so it's got to find equilibrium, and then it's got to deal with outside factors, which is weather, which is overall demand. I don't think there's supply problems, so that's why we think natural gas has got room on the upside. But you need these moves to get these moves. So that's our opinion in commodities. Foods, we think foods are very cheap, very, very cheap. And we think across the planet, they're going to start to get recognized. And then I've been doing commodities for over 40 years. So I think I can recognize what's cheap and what's not cheap and may move with the pack. There's a big difference. If you say, well, I like the grain sector. Okay, what grains do you like? Do you like corn? Do you like wheat? Do you like soybeans? What do you like? If you like the soft commodity sector, do you like cotton? Do you like sugar? Do you like cocoa? Do you like coffee? Do you like orange juice? I think I know that sector also. Base metals. The talk of the town is copper. Okay. Now remember, we talked about this early in the year. We've been through the wildest commodity move probably in the history of commodities was a copper pullback, and now we're seeing it grow back. So copper's on everybody's screens. What people aren't really paying attention to: aluminum, zinc, nickel, lead. I've been in the middle of those for the last 4 decades too. So there's edges. Now you don't have to trade these commodities. You can trade equities that'll give you not the exact exposure, but good exposure. And we've been doing that all year. Okay, some of the golds and silver equities, some of the platinum equities that we still think are going to go, some of the metals equities, which copper, aluminum, some zinc equities, some grain exposure. We don't, if you want to trade grains, well, what do? We trade food processors, we trade fertilizer. Okay, we understand. So I've been taught this. Okay, that's the only reason why we understand. I've been taught this by the best teachers. So we think January is going to be an incredible opportunity, not for Google and Apple and Nvidia. We don't think those are the opportunities anymore. We think they're too crowded. We think those trades are saturated. So where is the new money going to go? Crypto. Look where crypto is going out for the end of the year. I'm going to put it up here and show you. Okay, gung ho. I'm going to ask you this. I'll ask you it now. Have you heard any piece of bearish news in crypto in the last 6 months? I haven't. Everything you hear is bullish, neutral, bullish, neutral, bullish, neutral. Okay. Well, then some of these, okay? One of the most Bitcoin sensitive equities out there, MSTR. I just got to find these things, MSTR. Okay. You tell me, okay, how much does this hurt being long? Okay. 6 months. Look at this thing. Okay. This is if you're bullish Bitcoin, you want an MSTR. See the point I'm trying to make? Mara, Riot, the popular ones. This is Riot. End of the year, 6 months ago. Look at these things. Taking people out. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can have the right opinion, or you can be, but what are you going to have on that's going to keep you in the game? What's going to hold up? Okay, we've been holding up all year. We're going to get to that point too. I'm going to show you where we are for the year. Okay, enough talking. I just want to get you guys ready for this week coming up, which is a short week. Okay, Friday is the beginning of a new year. So you got flows coming in an empty day, kind of. And then we got January, which I think is going to be gangbusters one way or the other. We think there's going to be a lot of rotations going on or fresh allocations, and the market's not ready. Let's get some questions.
How about we got some questions on platinum.
Platinum, in my opinion, that's the next sleeper. Okay, and people that trade gold and now are exposed to silver are saying, well, you know what? I missed gold. I'm going to buy platinum. They think it's the same thing. They have no clue. Platinum is so different than gold. And if they're going to try to trade platinum like gold, they might as well just make the donation now. Okay? We think platinum has got so much room, so much room. And it started going parabolic. And you're talking about a couple of weeks. This is the middle of December. We were sitting around here. Look at this, all-time highs. This can be like a pinball machine. That's my opinion. This can be a pinball machine. And how do you get exposure if you don't want to trade the futures, which are illiquid to begin with? We know how to trade equities because our home run trades this year. Okay, I'll show you later when we're going to put up our board. Our home run commodity trades this year have been palladium. Our home run equity trades this year have been a platinum and palladium stock. So obviously we've been on this for a while.
Next one on the board here, they're talking about palladium. How about we go
Palladium's the same thing. Okay, I actually think palladium is going to take over, but you can't trade palladium like platinum. Okay, palladium they used to call a by appointment only trade. Okay, the futures exchange has zero liquidity. You really can't trade it. You've got to find a way to get exposure through equities, and there aren't many palladium equities. I think I found one. Okay, but I actually think palladium can outperform platinum, but not tradable. This will become untradeable. I've done this before, and this is not even a long-term chart. Even the charts I have aren't longer enough because I traded palladium in the 90s, and my charts only go back to 25 years. And palladium has numbers you can't imagine. Okay, but you can't trade it. So if you want to make money in palladium, we have ways, and I think we're gonna hit a home run on this. But there are many ways.
Next one, we have then talking about nat gas.
Nat gas we just spoke about. We think that's a little bit of a sleeper here. It got to show you how wild it can be over the last few months. Okay, but this was wild from the summer. Okay, and this is a different natural gas, the futures contract. But if you remember, sometime this year, natural gas was below $2. And then you get these option plays where market gets caught or gets squeezed, and you're going to move up to here to $5. Then what happens when the squeeze is over? It breathes, and if you get a little bit of bad weather meaning not comparable to what you need. So in the summertime, it might be cooler when you need heat. In the wintertime, it might be warmer when you need cold. So what happens? They get blown out, and you get an extension here. We understood this. We understood that. We think natural gas equilibrium is somewhere around here. And then we think from there, it's getting dictated by fundamentals. But down here is too cheap. We think it's going higher from here.
Next one, let's follow up on XOM and oil.
We just got out of XOM. We made a video on it a couple days ago. We did it again. XOM has been our cash cow in the oil market for our ideas. We think oil is in a range. So what have we done all year? We've traded XOM in a range. Now, I think might have been last Saturday that we made a video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we bought XOM here. We bought XOM here. Okay, what did we do? We cashed it out right here. Same thing, take another 5 points out of XOM. Why? Because we think oil's in a range. But if you got to follow the group, right? Because you follow the group, we had a big play down here. We had a big play down here. We had a big play down here. So you sit there and say, okay, so if XOM, if it gets down to here, I'm going to buy it. No, that's why you belong to the group, because that play is gone. So you say, well, why did you pick that spot? I have my reasons. I've been taught how to do this. Okay, so you say, well, why all of a sudden you're buying it here? Why wouldn't you wait for here or here or here? Because this was the right time. The way I read the indicators worked again. We're going to keep doing this until it doesn't work. We've probably taken easily 50 points out of XOM this year, and started the year in the 110, 112, and where's it now? 119. So you can invest in XOM. You made a few points. If you trade XOM with our views, you probably made 50 points trading XOM this year.
Football lets us say, are we going to roll our natural gas for January?
We don't have January natural gas. Okay, we have February natural gas. So we got plenty of time. Okay, we don't have January natural gas.
Okay. Ronnie's asking about gas. I know we went over heating oil, right?
It's about gasoline.
Yes,
if gasoline. Same thing. We think it's at the very bottom of the range. We think it's going to hold. We think it's too cheap down here. Now, weather can only help you from here. Weather can't hurt you here in gasoline. Okay, because you know what you need? You need cold and dry. Right now we got cold and some snow. If you get cold and dry, then out of that barrel, which usually at this point is making a lot of heating oil, now it's going to need gasoline because whether it's 30 degrees above or 30 degrees below, people are still going to drive. If you get snow, people aren't going to drive. So at this point, weather can only help us. We think gasoline is the very bottom of the range. We are not uncomfortable being long gasoline around here.
Okay. Next one here. They're talking about SMCI.
Yeah, that's one we put on. Okay, I did it thinking there was a trade here. It's not working. We're going to be out of it by the end of the week. Hands down, we're getting out of this. What I was looking for didn't work. When things don't work, we're out. We don't sit there and just fester on a position or make it linger. We're out of it. So we're going to be out. Here it is right here. Okay, we don't see anything. When we bought it, I think we got in like around here somewhere. Okay, and it didn't really go anywhere. We got a bounce, but then it came off. But before the ball drops on Thursday, we will be out of SMCI.
All right. Let's go over. Let's see what here. We have a bunch popping up here. Any silver equities that you're looking
That's
into?
that's the thing. See what's going on now, because silver is the flavor of the planet. What people they're going to call their brokers, their portfolio managers, the people that are watching money. They go, I want to buy a silver stock. I want to buy a gold stock. They have no idea. And you want to know something? The portfolio managers and the people that are managing this money, I don't think they know it in depth because it's out of their park. They hasn't done this forever. So they're supposed to become experts. So you got to know which ones to buy. We have ones that we know which ones to buy. Okay, the popular names everybody knows. Okay, you're going to hear a Coeur d'Alene. You're going to hear some other silver, Heckler silver. There's other ones out there to buy. We got a couple on our radar screen that we're going to put on. So I'm not going to give them over here. You got to belong to the group.
How do you feel about the silver ETFs?
The silver, no. You know, you hear my voice change. It's SLV. Okay, we talked about this with Guy Adami. We talked about this with the group many times. Okay, silver ETF, SLV. Supposed to be a replica of silver, right? Okay, I'm going to show it to you now, so you don't have to listen to me babble all the time. Okay, silver, SLV, $71. Okay, it's supposed to be a replica of silver. You know where silver is trading now? $80. So where is your replica? So it was $80. Why shouldn't SLV be $80? This is the point. It's fine until it's not. You stay. I will not trade GLD. I will not trade SLV. And now I got my reasons why.
Why do you think that metals are up so huge in the last 6 months?
I don't think they're up huge. I think there's a lot more to go. I think the world is recalibrating. There's a fundamental reason for metals. There's a financial reason for metals. And there's also an economic reason for metals, which is global. And that's referring to the dollar. And they all refer back to being long metals.
What's your opinion on PAAS?
Pan American Silver, that's the way to be long. There's very few silver stocks that can give you physical exposure, physical silver exposure. Pan American is one of those. So we think Pan American has got still more room on the upside. Look at this. We've had this on so many times this year. Look at this. Going, gone. And we actually have one of our silver plays is similar to this area that we're going to, if you belong to the group, you're going to know. And actually, like Pan American is going from 30 to 60. Well, the one that we're looking at, we think can move in multiples and not in percentages. Okay. I'm going to tell everybody about that next week.
Should people hold physical silver rather than paper?
If you want to sell your physical silver, please let me know. If I could drive to your house, I'll pick it up from you. I think you have an opinion there.
Okay. There's a lot of people asking, how do I join the group? So guys, I see people asking in the chat, put in the chat here, join if you're interested, and we'll go over, how to join. All right, just stick with us a little bit. We're going to go over some stocks here.
Okay. Quick. You know the point I'm getting from this? What have we been talking about mostly since we're on? The price of silver. Okay, guys, I'm being very serious. I've been doing this since the mid-'80s. Okay, I've been through every single scenario. And if you guys have been following me, I think you know that silver is my baby. I got 3 daughters. That's my 4th daughter, silver. So I know every nuance about silver. I understand silver experts think they're coming out here. They aren't. They're experts in portions. And I think silver is only in the 5th or 6th inning. So we have a lot of silver opportunities coming up. So if that's your reason to join, I think you're making the best decision you can make here as far as being with someone who's got experience. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but at least you got someone with experience.
All right. Let's go see. We'll go over some stocks real quick, and then we'll go over how to join, guys.
Okay.
So the couple stocks we're talking about, big one, MOS.
Yes, that's one not working. This is a fertilizer stock. We talked about ways to have stock exposure to certain sectors. Now, this one was good to us twice this year. 3rd time not working. We were long here, sold it here, long here, sold it here, and then started buying it here, all the way down because I think this is undervalued. Okay. Now we will be getting out of it for the end of the year. We've done that before just to clean up our books. But if I get any indicators, we're going to get right back in because I think this is doing kind of, see, this, you need the extremes. Okay. This, you had an extreme to reverse, an extreme to reverse. You didn't have an extreme here. This is kind of this. So if it grinds out of here, and if you look at the time of the year when it did it, see when it grinded out? When was it? The beginning of the year. When can it grind out of here? The beginning of the year. So we do it for our accounting reasons, but we think this is good value down here in MOS.
Next one, SBSW.
SBSW, we asked about our home run trade of the year. Well, we hit 2 home runs in SBSW this year. That's the one, a stock home run trade. We think if you have this on, hang on to it. Okay, I think there's very few ways to get long platinum and palladium. SBSW, in our opinion, all year, if you've been following us, you know this, that's been our baby. It's our baby. I can't find it. There it is right here. Now look at it. Ready to go. If you have the stomach for it, this is something you hold. Okay, this can easily double from here. It would not. I'm just saying, if this double from here, people go, oh my God. You're not going to hear an oh my God out of me because I think it makes sense.
Next, rare earth metals.
Yeah, that's another one. These sectors, rare earth, lithium, uranium, they had their move and they caught everybody off guard and they blew them out. Now they have no flows. When you have no flows at this time of the year, you're not going to get any. So we think rare earth, lithium, uranium, they can pull back. And we think they're going to pull back. And then we'll look at them again. But rare earth aren't working. And if you think they're going to work in the next week or two, I'm curious why. We have one. We're going to get out of them. I'm telling you right now, we're getting out of them. Okay, we made money and then we gave some money back. If I like it, I got no problem. I just don't think we're going to see fresh flows in rare earth coming up.
It's usually in the middle.
Yeah. USA
right there.
You see it?
Yeah, right there where your hand is.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's not encouraging. Okay, doesn't mean it's going to crap out because I think it has already, but I don't think you'll know in the first 2-3 weeks of January if these sectors are getting flows. If they do, because if you get out and you see the flows, get right back in because it's not going to go, from here to here on fresh flows. It'll go from here back to here, back to here, back to here. So this is a trade. So I have no problem getting out here and recognizing something and buying it right back up here. I have no problem doing that at all.
Next one, AREC.
Same idea. That was a resource stock that some of the group made me so happy one day when we sold it out. And they said they made a 10x on it. Why? Because they bought it the same time we bought it last year. We put this out as a lottery ticket last year. AREC. Got to be right here. Yeah. Okay. We put this out as a lottery ticket last year at the beginning of the year, right around here. So guys, you put this away, hold it. This is a resource stock. If it catches any kind of an interest, it's going to go. Many of our members had this thing on between 50 cents and $1. We held it, and then it started to go. And I said, this was what we're waiting for. She said, don't let it go. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. Let it hit the nerve. It hit the nerve. What do? We sold everything up here. People from the beginning of the year on a lottery ticket made 10x on it. They were telling us, let me tell you something, you got to see that day, the smile on my face, because that's something we don't keep in our book. It's just something we put out there. They made a 10x. So what did we say? Beautiful. We cashed in. We said between 4 and 3, we want to get back in, and that's what we did. Now it's starting to bounce, but the same thing. We think this has got to get it. I don't think you're going to see one of these anymore, but I do think this is cheap down here. So I think AREC is going to go right back up from here.
Okay, what's your analysis on RIG, R-I-G?
RIG, we're out of it. We had it on all year. We cashed in. I still think it's a good trade to have if you have oil exposure here at the bottom end of the range, but it's not at the bottom end of its range. So I'm going to wait. Yeah, we had a RIG on all year. Patience works. We always said this is too cheap. We had it on here between 2 and 3 for a long time. We sold it out here, I think around this 430 area. Sold the whole thing out. It's pulled back. If it gets to an attractive area, you'll know because we'll post it with the group. We're going to get right back into RIG. We think this is cheap, but you got to wear it for a while. I got no problem wearing something that I bought here and I sold it up here. If I can sit there and make 60, 70, 80% and just having patience with limited downside, I'll do it again in RIG.
TMC.
TMC, we just cashed in this week, the whole thing. Okay, this is another sector that I think you can pull back and then we'll put it back on again. Okay, this was good twice to us. Okay, you remember we bought a lot of it over here and we cashed the whole thing in right up here. That was like a serious trade for us. Then we caught it again and we sold it out again. We weren't involved up here, but we caught it again down. Remember, we bought a whole bunch of it down here, cashed it out, and then we got in right around here. And then we cashed out the whole thing 2 days ago, right up around here. So we're out of it. I will look at this again next year if it gets down to some of my areas. But you could see, okay, it's not like it's always the same area. Okay, it's not. You get in here and then you look for it to buy it back. I'm not looking for here. I recognize the symbols, the setups, all the signals, the things that influence it. So we said this is the spot. Same thing over here. Why didn't we wait for this area over here? No, because this was the spot. So the same thing here. Doesn't mean this is the spot right now. We're going to see what sets up for us. We're out of TMC. We cashed it in, but I will look at it this year coming up, the new year, when I say this year.
VLO.
Valero. That's been good to us all year. You know why it's been good to us? Guy Adami put it on our radar screen. So then Guy gives us unbelievable macro views, and it's up to me to find the trades. Valero's been very good to us. We think right here you got to wait a little bit, and then we're going to look at it again. We think this thing has got room to pull back a lot. So if it does, we'll buy it again. So we think refiners are going to get cheap. They're not cheap right now. But the price of gasoline, heating oil, the byproducts of oil, they are cheap. So let this catch up. We will look at Valero again, but not around here.
All right. How about we go over our trade log to show everyone?
Okay. Guys, this is us for the year. We are not lying. We're not exaggerating. We're telling you absolute truth. If you've been following us, you know we're not jerking anybody around. See that? That's our performance for the year. Now, the accurate number is closer to 360%. We're around 358% or something. 350% for the year. No exaggeration, no smoke and mirrors. Every trade is here. If you belong to the group, if you've been following us, you've been following us, you watch this number grow all year. Why? Because we're not an investing group. We're a trading group, and we stick to what we think we know. So you see 85% of our trades, maybe 90%, are commodity or resource related. Once in a while, we'll trade some big name equities. I try to trade what I have experience in. You're just looking over my shoulder, but that's a real performance. And 550 trades. So it's not like we go all in on one and if it works, you call yourself a hero. We trade this active, and we think there's amazing opportunities that are still out here. And the setups in December are setting up for January and February.
How do you balance your portfolio for these types of trades?
Right now, we've been trimming down a lot of positions, but many times through the year, we're sitting there anywhere from 15, 20, 30, 35 positions on. So we say 1%, 2%, 3%. If we like something more, we'll go to 5 or 6%. Okay, we don't just go all in on everything. So if we stay balanced, the ones that don't work don't spook us. We're never uncomfortable. We haven't been uncomfortable once this year. So if many things don't work, and we think everything works, it doesn't. Okay, you can say winners and losers. Okay, but if you keep that balance, then the needle doesn't spook you. The price doesn't spook you. Then you decide if your position is right or wrong based on your story.
All right. How about we show the members the site? We have a lot of people in the chat saying, "How do I join?" So, guys, yep. If you're interested in joining, we're going to show now. Please comment "join" in the comment section.
This is one thing we got to focus on. It's not going to be here.
Yes.
Okay, but this is RNTR.trading, guys. Very clear. Okay, see it up here. That's what it stands for. Risk of not taking risk. Okay, if you can't find the site, you know what the words are. Okay, look us up. We get back to you. We send you a mail. We send you a link,
email.
a link,
Yeah, a link to
a link.
Discord.
We send you an invite to join into the Discord chat. Okay, so you hear anything different, we don't ask you for money. A lot of fugazis now trying to mimic us. Okay, we don't ask you for money. We are not day traders. We are not mirror traders. We are not swing traders. Okay, our style is different. We consider ourselves directional traders. So if you hear all that, that's the right way to be. This is what you get. You get.
So we do have the discount. If you want to rent a board BF30,
still do?
Yes, we do. I put that on for the end of year.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yes.
This is news. Okay, BF30. Okay, so this is a discount we're giving out until the end of the year, so you get a couple of days left. Means you get the first month 30% off. The point I'm trying to make is after January 1st, this changes. It goes higher because we've added new features. We've also added staff. Okay, our overhead has gotten bigger. This is going higher. Now listen, if you make it 300%, last year we made over 100%. This is an irrelevant number. Look what you get with it. You get live webinars with Guy Adami from CNBC, a Q&A. You can ask him anytime on Thursday mornings. You get a midday clip. Every day you come out with a clip to show that we're in a trading group. I'm going to show you the Discord coming up. You get basic courses if you want to learn how to trade. Okay, if you're new to this, learn the jargon. Okay, it's all comes with this. Okay, I want to leave this up.
Yes, I just want to say something, guys. Use code BF30 for your first monthly subscription. Only for the monthly. You get the first month 30% off. So our website is RNTR.trading. You guys can take a screenshot or jot that down. And be mindful, when you join our Discord, we will not message you. You message us. There are a lot of impersonators out there impersonating our accounts. So a lot of people, when they join Discord, they said, "Oh, I got all these messages. I got all these friend requests from, it looks like the admin of RNTR trading." That is not us. Okay, just be mindful that we give you the directions on how to join in there in our email to keep you safe.
Okay, guys, the point I want to make: you can quit anytime. Okay, you're not obligated. So if you join in 2 weeks later, you say this is not for me. What are you going to get prorated on? $100? Big deal. But going forward, this is a great alternative way to perform. If you want to go back in September, MarketWatch.com did an article on us. Okay, they came to us, wanted to do a piece. We used a couple of examples of our members. One of our members was a retired plumbing business. He's been watching over my shoulder for a year. He says, I'm going to do everything that I've been doing. In 8 months, made enough money to buy a summer home for his children so he can enjoy it with his grandchildren. He's since then, and that was in September, he's come back to me over the last month, says I can probably do it again. Okay, the opportunities are here. If you want to, it gets you to your goals quicker in your life. That's all your financial goals. Okay, if you want to sit there and make 4 or 5%, which is all you're making in the stock market over the last 25 years, I don't care what you do, any kind of math. If you just put your money in, and after your fees and costs, you wind up between 4 and 5% a year. Or you can maybe catch on to a different way of looking at things, and you can make 100% a year. Well, this is the fourth time we made over 100% in a year. We're here 7 years. Or you can make 300%. I don't think we're making 300% next year, but I do think you could make these kind of numbers, and they're there. And what does it cost you? Peanuts. Okay, and it's a different way to trade, a different way to look at markets. We don't look at, people have macro views for a trade. I don't understand that. We trade differently. I was taught by the best teachers. Okay, so if I have an opinion, people are going to buy tons of stuff during Christmas season. So you got to buy Apple. You got to buy Amazon. Okay, think of that, guys. You didn't just you're not the first person to wake up with that idea. Those are macro views. That's not a trade. Think of how many people in November say, I'm going to buy Apple, I'm going to buy Amazon. That's the busiest times of the year. The stocks are going to go up. Okay, guys, that's a little bit of a played out story. So we try to find the sectors that are hot, the sectors that make sense, and then it's up to me to find the right trades. So far, it's been working.
Okay, so we have a bunch of questions on prices and stuff like that.
Go ahead.
If you do annually, how much will it cost?
Okay, well, we'll get the new
rate. So guys, get this
not...
rate before it goes up by the new year.
Yeah, okay, this is good for 3 more days. Okay, if you want to join for the year, this is what you're going to get. Okay, there's no 1 month. This is if you join for a month. But this is going to change, and it's going to be, we're moving probably a good 20-25% higher. So keep that in mind.
Let's see here. Are you grandfathered in at that price after the first month discount? Yes.
If you join the next 3 days,
yes, you're
you get these
grandfathered in.
prices. Yeah. We have, let me tell you something. When we started this years ago, a lot of people from my area, people I grew up with, a lot of my students, they joined. We've grandfathered those prices in for the whole group. Okay, so if you belong to us, you show loyalty to us, we show loyalty to you back. We got people that are still paying, was it $29 a month?
I think
Right?
original.
Remember some of those student rates? $29 a month.
Yeah.
Doesn't even affect us because they were loyal to us. We continue to do that.
Signed up, I can't see anything on Discord. We're going to verify your information and we'll add you to the Discord. We send you an email. So once you get that email, we're going to receive that message from you to verify your information and we'll onboard you to the Discord. If I join today, BF, do I get access? Yes, we'll get to you after this live and we'll add everyone to our Discord.
Yeah. You'll be ready for Monday morning. No, you'll be ready for Sunday night. Because Sunday night's going to be action.
Out of 1 million starting amount, how much is your futures account?
Yeah, I did that last night. Okay, we are up. Just give me 1 second. I just want to make it accurate.
Yeah.
I did it this morning. Okay, 13 and 22. So that's about, this year we've made, doing the math, I'd say 40% in futures, 60% in equities. That's been our performance this year. 35, 65, 40, 60, somewhere in that area.
I'm not sure about this question. It's kind of broad, but they're saying, do we need 1,000 shares or more to make profit? Do you mean $1,000? If you want to,
you can trade any amount you want. If you want to trade futures, you need a little bit more because it's levered and you need a margin account. We've had many people start their account with $1,000. But you know what? If you started with $1,000, you're probably up to $3,000, $4,000 just in this year. If you started with $1,000 2 years ago, you're probably up to $6,000 or $7,000. You know what? I don't know if we should say this. 7 years ago, if you put $1,000 with us, okay, 7 years ago when we started, if you put $1,000 and just followed every single trade, kind of made me fall off my chair. Stanley did this for us. You got $61,000 in your account. You started with $1,000 7 years ago. I didn't know this. He just did it to me. He showed it to me. I almost fell off my chair. Okay, doesn't mean it's going to happen again. It just shows that we know how to lever our money properly.
Next question. Do you close all your positions at the end of the year?
We do. And this is probably going to be the last year we're doing it. Okay?
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, this is probably going to be the last year. You know why we do this? Because people can't believe these numbers. They said it's impossible. You could be moving marks or whatever. It's okay, fine. So every year we start from zero. We start from scratch. We go right back to our original bankroll, which we do every year. And it's good for all new members because they're also starting with us and see how you can grow it from your original bankroll.
Next question. Can you always trade minis with futures?
No, not all futures have minis. You have to know which ones have the minis, which ones don't. Some have minis, some have micros. And we don't trade mini S&Ps. We don't trade NASDAQ. We don't trade those things. Okay, we trade, if you want to trade mini silver, yes. You want to trade any mini commodities, sure. We trade the big ones when we trade.
All right. Those are all our questions we have right now.
Okay.
How about we show
the Discord?
Yeah, we'll show the Discord.
Okay, this is Discord, guys. This is what comes with the group also. Okay, go here. Okay, this is us, guys. This is what you get if you belong to the Discord chat all day talking. I'm just going back from yesterday. Okay, what we do yesterday, cashed out of our Alibaba, sold out of some Kansas City wheat futures. Okay, you get my comments all day. Okay, sold out of the TMC you asked me about. We sold it out and then it fell straight down. Uranium stocks. Okay, you get a comment in the morning, 8 a.m. When we're looking at what's on our screen. Okay, non-stop, guys. Okay, we just keep telling you. We trade. When we trade, we tell you what we're doing ahead of time, not after the fact. Example yesterday, guys, we're looking at Alibaba. You're looking over my shoulder. So if you're long Alibaba, say, okay, guys, I'm looking at it. In a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is. Okay, guys, I'm selling all my Alibaba here. Same thing with TMC. I've noted another one of our stocks that we had on. Okay. What I've noticed from watching these other sites, people probably in my position, they'll trade and then tell you after they trade. What kind of crap is that? What kind of a team person are you? Okay, we do this as a team. That's what we do. Futures, want to trade futures, which you just asked about. And we actually think futures are going to be a bigger edge next year. Okay, we've been doing this for a while. Okay, same idea. Okay, we talked about orange juice because we just made a nice little trade in orange juice. Okay, so then you see the soybeans, we trade in natural gas, heating oil. Same setup. We tell you guys what we're looking to do. Okay, thing you got to be heads up about is it could happen at any time of the day or night. Sometimes we're getting up 3 o'clock in the morning to trade some sugar. Okay, I have no problem getting up 5 a.m. Okay, we're looking at March, Kansas. We're looking at the wheat market here. I put heat, should be wheat. Okay, same thing. Chances to make money. If you trade in futures, you may wind up with bags like me under your eyes, but if you can make some money, that's what you get. What we did this year, we added on bots. Okay, Joe Bot. It's not myself. It's a young man named Joseph set up an algorithm trading bots. If you follow bots, you know bots are nothing but singles trades. You know, I'm just using a baseball analogy. Okay, up over 100% this year. Now, if you trade bots, you're up over 100%. Stay where you are. You're up 50%. Stay where you are. If you're getting chopped up a little bit or you're not comfortable, you got to look at this because I was not a bot fan a year and a half ago. I am a bot fan. Joseph has found the way to do this. Very clear as day. Here's your trade. Here's your loss. Here's your weight. Here's the time where it is. These alerts come up 100% for the year. That is in addition to our 300. That's not included in our 350% that we're up this year. That's an additional 100. We've had people that have joined the group at the beginning of the year. They mimic every trade. They're up over 450%. No exaggeration. Trade log, everything is here. See, I showed you the trade log. Okay, we have Guy Adami on Thursdays from CNBC. We do a webinar with Guy. You get a chance to ask Guy live questions every Thursday morning. We have a midday clip every day because we're a trading group. We have an opinion at 8 a.m. We may change by noon, 11 a.m., 11:30, somewhere around there. We come out with a clip telling you what we're doing, whether we're staying on the plan or we're making adjustments. We've made so much money this year by recognizing reversals. And what is that a sign of? A trading market. That's what you get when you join.
All right. I think that covers all our questions and everything.
Okay. Let's get it up here. Guys, there's a lot of trades on this board. A lot of trades in the next 3 days. The setups for next month are incredible. And if you go look, January's been one of our best months of the year since inception because a lot of things go on that I've been I've recognized it. I got experience to it. There's a lot of mechanisms that are going off in January that I recognize because I've been involved with that before I retired. So I got a Goldman Sachs background. That's where I retired from. Okay, and I was taught by the smartest people on the planet, and I'm passing it along. I taught it in universities. Now I've been teaching it here. Okay, there's ways to make money. If you have patience, you understand things, and you don't let your nerves get involved. Don't let your emotions get involved. Don't let prices get involved. Let your strongest convictions get involved. It works, and it's been working for 7 years. Okay, listen, we're back here on Wednesday morning at 8:30, which is New Year's Eve, so it's year's end. We're back also Friday morning, first day of the new year, 8:30. We're back here next Saturday at 10:30. We would have been here a little differently today, but we got bombarded with snow. Okay, so we're here. Okay, listen, I'll see you Wednesday. Otherwise, if I don't see you